Okay. Calling all torchbearers. I am going to be doing the Pick a Pile for Pisces season here live on YouTube. I was just live on TikTok and was doing the shuffling for the 3 different piles and picking out the different spirit guides that I was going to be doing the Pick a Pile for. So whether you're catching this live in a moment here right now or in the future, you'll be able to partake in this season's Pick a Pile, which is connected to what is happening during Pisces season. We're in Pisces season right now, depending on where you are and when you're watching this, but Pisces season, we're experiencing a new moon in Pisces today as well. And Pisces season is all about the romance and the dreamer energy, especially in terms of spirituality and getting yourself deep into your emotions and your subconscious and learning how to look through those subconscious beliefs and reprogram them, and even to have a belief of hope reinstilled, or even to be able to like move towards directions that you have been trying to bring forward in your life a lot, because it is the last zodiac sign before we begin again with Aries. It is an opportunity for you to process everything from the seasons before and really move through it into a new belief, and it's a way to free yourself. That's another energy that Pisces has really been representing, and personally I've been working with it a lot and been really utilizing its energy at the beginning of this season and going forward. You love being able to have me on the TV. Look, it's like I've made it big, Jenny. Hopefully everything is, I don't know if it's still up and down, but maybe we could, I've talked about it, but the angle would just be so off. Y'all wouldn't be able to see everything if I did it sideways. But okay, let me show y'all the 3 different piles. Thank you for being here and commenting, and I appreciate your energies. Everybody from TikTok should be making their way over here to also join, because they were partaking in the 3 piles that we were working with. Like I said, Eclipse, the 4 elements, or Hummingbird. I'm going to show them to you. This has to do with Pisces season. I think I've never flipped camera on here, so let me be patient with a second here. Okay, there we go. So let me go around behind there we go. Okay. So we've got pile 1 here, which is the Eclipse spirit guide, which is all about revelation and wholeness. And I chose the cat eye for you for your crystal. So really beautiful crystal. And we've got the little saying here that says, one who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches. So that is pile 1 here. Pile 2, we have the 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. And I have chosen, got to reach around here, tiger's eye instead here for pile 2. And the saying that you got, pile 2, is, we all want to be understood, to be acknowledged, to be loved. Pile 3 is the Hummingbird spirit guide, and I chose to do the evil eye, which is also on a turtle. So you could look at it as the turtle, the evil eye, the heart, which is also giving like a mermaid with the heart energy there. And then the message on the here on pile 3 is, your greatest strength is love. So that is the 3 different piles that is for Pisces season. You can choose to assign them different meanings. Like if you wanted to do a relationship, a career reading, you could pick each pile for whatever one you're feeling called to. And I want you to take a deep breath in and connect with your higher self. This is a collective reading. And again, whether you're watching this in the moment or in the future, because this is going to be posted, you'll be able to utilize this message to discern what parts of yourself is moving through these lessons, letting yourself hear what is needed for Pisces season. And so with Pisces season energy here, you can choose what pile feels right for you. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. Pile 1, Eclipse, cat eye. Pile 2, earth, air, water, fire, and the tiger's eye. Or pile 3, the hummingbird with the evil eye. You can see I did 3 eyes. Okay, I was having to lean there. The leaning over, that was kind of hard to give you the correct shot. So I hope that this, if y'all are I was having a blast on TikTok, and I've really enjoyed connecting to your pick-a-pile live. I've never done it before for y'all, doing a pick-a-pile in the moment live, but we're gonna do it tonight for the very first time. Welcome if it's your first time here. I do these every single Thursday. You came from TikTok, yes, hello, hello. Hi, welcome, hi Bridget, hi Letita, I'm so happy you're here. I'm very excited to have you all join us for this collective reading. So let's get into it. Choose your pile. I want you to do a deep breath again and see what you need to hear from these messages. So there's going to be something, since it's a collective, for every pile, there'll be something that'll resonate for you. But as you pick your pile, make sure that you're using your intuition to pick it so that you know what the extra depth of that layer of that pile has for you. Okay, so another deep breath in. Tapped in. I love it. Hi, Mason. Hi. Hello, hello. I love it. This is awesome. I'm enjoying this change in frequency for having us over on YouTube and getting to do a in-depth. We're going to be here for about an hour doing these 3 piles together. I am going to change the view so that you can see things a little more clearly here. You won't be able to see the candles as much, but let me see if I can move you back just slightly. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3, y'all. Or torchbearers, that's what I should say, not y'all. Because you're my torchbearers. So I love this opportunity for us all to connect together as a community for 3 different piles. We'll see what each message has for us. I'm going to try to keep, whoa, you're crooked. I'm going to try to keep each pile under like 20-ish minutes, 15 minutes, so that'll give us about an hour worth of content. And that way we can move over to TikTok after that. We'll do a collective, this is such an in-depth message. I'm not going to do another collective message here on YouTube. We'll hang out and chit chat, but I do have $22 based, donation-based readings that you can give to me on either my Venmo, Cash App, or my PayPal, which is in the link in my bio here on YouTube as well. But if you need my Cash App or Venmo, just let me know and I'll tell you. But I've got 2 people that are on the list, 2 torchbearers that are already on the list. These readings are happening at around 8:30 over on my TikTok. And so you can go ahead and get on the list if you'd like, and we'll do it there, okay? Feels more personal, like we're there. I love it. Yeah, I do feel that. Hi, Hidden Mana. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so happy to have you here again this evening. Welcome, welcome. I really love that you've joined multiple weekly lives with me. I can't tell you how much that means, especially since I know it's your first time being exposed to my community space and a bunch of these torchbearers. So we really welcome you here, and I hope that you find a lot of information that you're looking for and a lot of groundedness and soul family and community. We're doing a 3-pile pick-a-pile here for the Pisces season. So you can choose either pile 1, the Eclipse, pile 2, the Elements, pile 3, the Hummingbird. We're about to get it started, so we're going to do a howl. After the howl, I'll ask that you'll have chosen your pile, okay? Don't get pressured, but I do want you to have chosen your pile if you can so that we can move forward and do this, okay? Happy new moon. I think it's my chat is very small, so it's harder to see y'all's name. I think it says Jack or Jacques. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but happy new moon to you as well, in Pisces no less, which is perfect for a Pisces reading. Energy is great. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's a testament to all of you. I feel very safe here. I have cultivated a really wonderful community that I don't feel like anything can come in and I can handle it, even if it's calling for me to change my energy and show up in a different frequency. It doesn't mean it's affecting our community space or us at our core. And I want that to be our core lesson every day when we are going forward, so we can be less judgmental in our lives and more open to what life is showing us, as opposed to trying to teach us. Okay, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, make your choice and let's howl. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Let's get into your messages here. So I'm going to move to the side, pile 3 here. And I'm going to move to the side, pile 2. And we are going to begin with pile 1. Okay. We're going to move to the front here, pile 1. Okie dokie. And if you do donate the $22 to my Venmo or Cash App, please let me know so I can add you to the list for your personal one-on-one reading later. But I also want to let you know that I do have a sale going on my video recorded readings as well as my Reiki sessions. Now, like I said on TikTok, anybody that books right now, I've got caught up, but anybody that books right now on those will not be receiving their video readings at least for 2 weeks. I'm going to be out of town some of next week, so next Thursday's live won't be happening, but next Sunday's live and this Sunday's live, this upcoming Sunday, will be on schedule as normal for 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So okay, pile one, what do you need to hear for Pisces season? Let's get into your message. You chose the Eclipse Spirit Guide, which this Pisces new moon, from what I've researched and heard, is actually starting it's a very special new moon because it's starting a lot of our eclipse energy. We're getting into eclipse season at the beginning of March, so we're really almost there, but close up. I think it was, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's somewhere around the 10th or 11th or something like that, where our eclipse is. If I had my other calendar in front of me, I'd know the exact date. But when we're looking at activating eclipse energy, it's often a very intense transformation. Please throw up in the chat if I've got pile one people. I want to know, who are you? Where are you? Are you here with me now, or are you watching in the future? Nice to see you either way. So pile one, it's funny because I can already feel your energies from the future too, so it's almost like pulling me into the same habits that I have when y'all are normally top down, but like you're right here live. So we're going to see how this goes. It's going to be very interesting considering this is a very much a channeled state when I'm in this, and I am connecting with your guides and not with you necessarily. So pile one, let's see here. Oh, mama, you're pile one. I love it. Okay, let's see here. Maybe I shouldn't know who's pile one. Spirit, please keep those energies out of my mind and my consciousness. I don't want that to help me to not make that a shift my perspective, or I want my channel to be clear. I want the language to be understood by the individuals that are meant to find these messages, and to help that message be clear, concise. I want to get through these piles quite quickly, Spirit, so please help me channel the messages and plug all the puzzle pieces in very concisely, so that in a way that for pile one and for anybody that needs to hear the messages or the little nuggets of downloads that come through with each pile can integrate and use their own intuition and wisdom in order to do so naturally, easily, and in a way that creates love and abundance for all. So as we say that and continue on, thank you for sharing and being here, all of you. You're a pile one and you're from Australia. I love it. So one who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches. This is what pile one's little tea packet message was for you. And you also chose the cat eye. Cat eye is a very protective crystal, much like any of the intentions that are associated with cat, I associate with cat eye. And it is very much like great for when you're connecting to your psychic abilities, when you're needing protection over like the energetic realms. It's funny because all three crystals that I chose this evening for all three piles are a protection crystal. I also chose the eye. You could be, in general, we chose cat eye, tiger's eye, evil eye. So in general, there could be an awakening happening for every pile in terms of your third eye and seeing things more clearly. The fog is lifting for pile one here. I really and particularly feel that for you. There is something that is coming a little more clearly into sight, especially in terms of beliefs. One does not need to enjoy life through riches. One enjoys life through their perspective and how they live each day and spends their riches. Riches comes in many ways: time, health, love, peace, friends, soul family. Riches come from many different avenues. And the more that we take the time to recognize our riches as much as our failures, we tend to focus a lot more on where we're not doing well as opposed to where we are. And so reminding ourselves that the practices of what we're working to reprogram actually go against the natural grain of society and the natural grain of day-to-day life and rhythms that you and everyone has been taught. But when you have this like zoom out moment, you're almost like laughing at the fact that we're all playing by these unknown scripts. And kind of leading with these like different ways of being. And as we find what works for us, those ways of being become more clear. And for pile one in particular here, I'm getting a clear message of like you having more clarity on how to embody yourself authentically, how to embody the practices that you believe on a core level, maybe you're even affecting others' beliefs by showing your beliefs at a core level in a more clear, concise way. Remember, with eclipse, like I'm talking about with eclipse energy, it often speaks to a big transformation. It's not going to happen like slowly. It's like an overnight thing, but anything with overnight, like you think of overnight success or luck, it all happens from an inward energy. You know, just because it all led up to that moment and it's like that pivotal spark, you know, have you looked at all the steps? Like look at Chaperone, you know, she was out performing with a, you know, a piano to nobody. And now you know, she could not do that again. Like literally ever in her life, whether you like her, hate her, don't agree with her or how she's doing living her art life as an artist and all of these things. Those things are your subjective mind that applies your lens to it. And see, this is a big part of Pile One's lessons. And I feel I love it. Okay, let's get into it. Eclipse energy. It feels like there's something here where you're having a revelation. Like I said, yeah, right. You're having a revelation, and it is creating wholeness. I mean, it's on the freaking candle right here. And unfortunately, it won't be mirrored until later, I think. But revelation and wholeness are the two key intentions. And I'm gonna like pick out just randomly, intuitively, a part of the message to read. I'm feeling called to the right hand side, which could be a message that is signifying to your divine masculine side. If that resonates for you, maybe there's something going on with your own inner masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, and they're in existence with each other, and they work together. Okay, this rare balance, interesting, that's where I felt called to start. This rare balance, there's something you're balancing that is rare, that is unnatural to society. Happiness coming not from, does not need riches, right? And this is something that this rare balance allows for us to transcend old patterns, inviting harmony between inner reflection, and outward action. The Eclipse Spirit Guide. So inviting harmony between inner reflection and outward action, right? Harmony between when to be focused on how to ruminate these ideas and when to actually move towards them, even if they're not feeling natural in your rhythms of how you're moving. If you're going based off of your intuition, I promise you, it will do both. It will actually lead you to action and to rest naturally. And this is something for Pile 1 in particular, might be part of that fog that is breaking through. This revealing that you are actually finding a balance between inner reflection and outward action. The Eclipse Spirit Guide amplifies this union. I like that. It amplifies the union of both, not just the balancing between one or the other, but the ability to stand with both of those aspects. Maybe you're literally taking action while simultaneously still being able to ruminate through inward reflection, but not toxically sent into a rumination of anxiety or of fear or of any of those limiting beliefs that you've already break patterns from. It's like they're no longer in your toolkit here. I know I am just channeling right now, so I hope this is resonating for you, Pile 1. Haven't even opened up your cards yet, so I'm going to pause the message there and go ahead and start seeing what we've got going on for you. Again, I've got all your cards here. We're going to start with the higher self, then moving into the empath oracle that I chose, the ancestors' advice, and then your key to it all. And then I will pull any clarifiers with my tarot deck, okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you for partaking and liking and all of that. I hope you're enjoying and resonating. Lady Shay, thank you. Okay. Pile 1, let's go. This is interesting. A fog being broken through for you, Pile 1, and it has to do with your union between inner like revelation, which is interesting, and outward revelation. It's really coming through that way. Like your ability to go through a lesson and then bring it out to the masses. And this doesn't mean millions of people. This can be your grocery store person, the conversation you had with them. This can be a friend. This can be how you interact just on social media. You sometimes don't realize the impact and effects that we have on others in their lives. So, okay, let's see here. Pile 1, your cards are intuition. There's that third eye. Remember I said the third eye awakening. Remember I talked about that, especially for everybody, but in particular here with you, Pile 1, seeing through the fog, breaking through from something with a third eye is just an ability to see something that does not necessarily exist in the reality you're currently existing in. So it's actually the true form of manifestation magic, because it's what you're using. You're using your clairvoyance ability. If you're not really great at imagination, if you struggle with imagination, you can do this through scripting. You can do this in many other ways. Embodiment is one of the most powerful ways that you can enact your manifestations. Begin to embody your manifestations like they are here now. This does not mean just ignoring your current reality state. This is holding space for both, but not letting one negate the other. This can be true, but it does not negate the reality I'm embodying and what I'm programming into my subconscious and into my reality through shifting my joy. I really believe 90% of this is coming from us not pouring enough joy into ourselves and those we love. Us not showering our areas around us and gardening, keep tending to the garden that is literally right there with fruit to be, bearing fruit or bearing opportunities for growth. And we avoid it because of fear or because of anxiety or because of wanting to keep the peace, wanting to not call attention to something that is, that you're seeing with your third eye, that you perceive, and your intuition is screaming at you to speak, but you're tampering it down with your masculine energy, Pile One. This is what's keeping you in the fog, because when your intuition speaks, you cannot ignore it. When something is coming out and it's just meant to come out, you don't even sometimes realize why. You just know that you're seeing something from a different point of view than what is being presented. Now, we try to do this, Pile One, in a way that does not cast our judgment out to others or onto others. How can we create our own reality without deconstructing someone else's? So this is even in the ways of like not controlling, that's a weird word, because it comes up with a lot of trauma associated with it. Though I think control is something we also need to work on here, Pile One, is understanding our relationship with it. Control does not mean rigidity, and it does not mean like letting go entirely of it in order to gain something back. You often, we're looking at control as this transactionary energy, like as if we're exchanging money or for goods. And it's like, you did this, so I'm going to give you this, or you showed up in this way, so I'm going to give this. And when we're starting to reprogram community-based mindsets and coming together with ways of like, honor, accountability, love, all of these things, that it's going to cause a ripple effect of energy. But if that wasn't occurring, there would be stagnancy. There would be something having to do also coming up with not being like in the know, but the information being right under your nose. There's something else coming up for that as well. Here, Pile One. Okay, so intuition. I've got intuition. I guess I can show you them here. Well, why not? You might not be able to see them all, but we can make it work. So intuition, the crown chakra. Look at this crown. Did you drop your crown, Pile One? Did you forget that you were the royalty that is literally existing in your lineage now? That everybody is royalty in their life. Everybody, look, that's funny. I'm even feeling this confirmation of like accountability is so important, y'all. Just like the ability to just like hold like reality in a space of just like what is just some of the most powerful things that we can do. It's very hard to do because often it brings up emotions, but with the royalty energy, you have a life to live. And if you want to look at your life as the kingdom, queendom, the energy that you're looking at as what that garden that we were just discussing is, tending to it. I don't want to say ruling over, because that's not the energy we're trying to embody here. And Pile One, I know that you're not, especially with the intuition card coming out. And I mean, I felt Pile One, you came in hot with the channeled messages. Like, I hear your guides more than I need these cards. I don't need any clarifiers because your guides are so loud, Pure Pile One. Like, there is just something that is also like, it's coming up on like, when the cloud is there, like, and you've been sitting in it for long enough, how long will it take before you start to, turn on a fan, open a door, get the cloud? Like if it was smoke, you would be doing something to clear the room. And there's something too that your intuition is calling. It's underneath your nose, right? It's like right there within this cloud, and you're almost like not recognizing the bed of flowers that you're laying in and that are being shined upon you or shown upon you. I'm also getting purple as being a very primary color for you right now. Connecting with purples and blues, like this is very much your third eye and your crown. So maybe even be wearing clothes that are very connected to those colors. And look, storyteller and inventor. Pile One, I think that And remember, this was your empath card. This was your higher self. So your higher self is guiding you to tap into your intuition more clear, like more intentionally, more clearly is the same thing, but more intentionally. And then crown chakra is showing that there has to be a sense of leadership, but not through control, like we were just discussing. A way to be able to understand that what is happening may be bigger than you, but you still have to become a participant in the life that is there for you to live. There's a difference between being alive and living. And this is something that is very much coming up with pile one here. And so storyteller, the imagination, remember I was talking about embodying and like visualizing your reality, and like look at the dragon here, how there's like a little knight that's coming out of the tent that they made together. It's almost like the dragon is actually helping hold up the tent. Dragon spirit guide could be really powerful for you. She's even looking at the dragon. They feel like a guardian. It feels like also a really big like almost like a fairy tale energy coming here for pile one here for Pisces season. There could be a storyline that you're working through for your inner child during this deep dive that you're going into your emotions, pile one, because it feels like you are uncovering a little bit of joy again, like I discussed earlier. Joy seems to be something your guides are wanting to reactivate for you, and it's the joy of doing, the joy of embodying. Especially when it comes to your empath, it feels like maybe even some of these responsibilities need to be handled more lightheartedly. Where is the fun in all of these responsibilities that you've given yourself in life, or maybe have been given to you, but also is in a way a part of your narrative so that you can cultivate your journey the most beautifully possible. No, it doesn't always look the best, but it's the story that you get to tell. It's the perspective you get to have. It's the way that you share it, like I had said earlier. And maybe a book is very much coming through for you because of the storyteller, and I had already channeled for you that there's ways that you're doing the inward, like we had said, the union between the inward reflection and the outward action, and the ability to be in that union everywhere that you go. This is embodying the version of yourself you've been working so diligently to cultivate, but you are that version right now. And you were already that version of that person then, and then, and then, and you will be then, and then, and then. But there's some sort of beauty that happens with the presentness of life. And it is in that living in that presentness that lets you discover the story. And then when you go home and you start to ruminate on it all, you start to see the narratives and what you can leave behind, what you can use for your growth, and what you can acknowledge as yours or not yours. Accountability of things, again. Inventor. This is coming up as Aquarius energy here with we just left. So the storyteller feels very like the energy of like merging these bridges of something, like taking something that you already worked on for a while and bringing it together. I might be pile one. This resonates for me. So bringing it together for some sort of cultivation of a new invention, a new way of thinking, a new way of expression. And it doesn't have to come through in this way of like grandiosity or grandiose. That's coming up a lot here for pile one. There's something else about maybe you even are shying away from a bit here. Like I think maybe that you might be a little afraid of the riches, because it says here, one who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches, but they are sure useful. Okay? Especially when you're trying to cultivate joy in life, not just for yourself, but for others, for community, for the overall good. Back to the responsibilities here, pile one, that we may be placing on ourselves and on our life, and life is just meant to be enjoyed alongside of those things, not be taken over by them. And this is something that you're maybe changing the invention on. You're figuring out what parts of this will need to be shifted so that it can work better for you. And this was the advice from the ancestors cards. So your ancestors are asking for you to reinvent a story, reinvent a narrative that you've been sharing, telling with yourself or others. How you tell it. Change the way you tell it. You change the way your power uses it. You change the way that the universe uses it. And it can just sometimes be in the shift of a vocabulary, of wording, of an inner understanding or an expression of your energy. And so I also see ingenuity and imagination often it feels like a combination. Like you're so imaginative that you're finding new ways to be introducing this into the world. So we need this. Pile 1, you're needed. But by saying we need you, a part of you then shuts down. Because when you feel needed, you feel responsibility. But it's okay to be needed. To be needed does not mean you're required. To be needed does not mean it's to your detriment. That's what needs to be changed here. To be, wanted and desired and needed in all of these ways does not mean it has to negate your health. And that's what you've been mastering. So these riches that come and are here for you now, Pile 1, are not negating your intuition and the way that you'll be able to operate going forward. You'll know how to do things and when to do them and how to invent the right opportunities for you. It may not look like what others' paths look like. Matter of fact, if it does, it's probably not your path, unfortunately. Now, the last card here, the key. It says here, Samadhi. I'm saying that improperly, but Samadhi. And it says perfect acceptance. Perfect acceptance here. That's beautiful. I think that's a perfect embodiment here for you, Pile 1, in reference to everything we just channeled. Perfect acceptance of all. This is very much resonating with the Eclipse spirit guide. Dragon. I also feel crow because of the crow here on the front, or eagle. It's eagle, actually. So eagle or a bird in some way feels really in resonance for you. I feel called to read the key card for you. So number 29. This will be the final message unless Spirit brings out anything else here for you, Pile 1, okay? So number 29, look at the roots that are around her eyes that are falling over, almost like as if they're decaying to the earth, giving back. And I feel this like surrender energy, but I can't find the right word for it. That's the best word I could think of, so it'll probably say it here. Perfect acceptance. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's saying. The girl of Samadhi, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it, but it is not distracted by the sharp thorns, nor the beauty of the flowers and pearls of life as they cluster. Do you hear that? Not distracted by the thorns, nor the pearls and beauties of life. Is that not what we literally were channeling for you? Is that not what your message said here about a person who knows how to enjoy life does not need riches, but you're also recognizing how useful they can be to bring about the lessons and the completions, and that at some point you deserve it. You do. Just because you don't need them doesn't mean you can't use them. Just because something is not necessary doesn't mean it doesn't have a gift to be shared with you. And so the more we receive those gifts, not being distracted by the thorns nor the roses, we find beauty in both. And it doesn't necessarily always feel that way. It's a sense of surrender, but on the other side, you walk through as a more confident version of you. Until the next lesson is, that is, and you gotta do it again. In some ways it gets easier and in some ways it gets harder because healing is not linear. And that's the beauty of life. So you should enjoy that part. And that's another thing that we were working on. Okay. She is tranquil and deeply merged with the essence of oneness and acceptance. Samadhi teaches that when you give up being a perfectionist, life is suddenly perfect. Consider that your life in this moment is purely a reflection of your consciousness. Everything is exactly the same as it was yesterday. It is your attitude that has shifted. And this is for better and for worse. For what you resist tends to persist. However, with Samadhi, there is no better and no worse. Everything is. It is a beautiful place to be. Allow yourself this kindness in this moment and embrace Samadhi. Everything will find its place around you in the inevitable present moment. Y'all, what the fuck? I mean, if you thought I was making it up, y'all saw me shuffle it live on TikTok, read it here with you after channeling all of that. And then it talks about that. I mean, that's everything in direct words. And this resonates for all of us. I do feel that. I know that. But this is in particular to those that pick Pile 1. This lesson is done for you. okay? You've surrendered to this this pacing of life that will allow everything to fall in at the placing that it's supposed to, at the pacing that it's supposed to, at the placing. That's interesting. Allow yourself this kindness in this moment and embrace samadhi. Everything will find its place around you in the inevitable present moment. Accept everything and everyone and everything and every situation as being exactly as it is meant to be now. If we can release that too, that in trying to change others, we're not accepting them as they are, but in accepting them as they are, we allow for them to change and become something they are not yet. I love that. That's so beautiful. The ritual here is purposeful bliss. I'm not going to read the ritual. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, so I'm sorry, but if I remember, I'll share it later. I'm going to hold it up in case it will be reflected for you. You could take a photo and then go look at it in the mirror. I don't know why they don't mirror it here, but it's a little ritual that you could do. But I think that is everything I have here for you, Pile 1. I don't want to go any further because that went a little longer than I was planning, like I always do. The last card here is the Nine of Swords. It is time to let go of these anxieties, these fears, these ways of thinking. It is closed out. You have surrendered entirely. So any of the new ones that are coming up are just trying to make you feel that you're not where you are, which is just not true. You are in this place of completion. You're in this place of happiness. You're in this place of joy. You're in this place of getting everything that you want. You're in this place of victory, total victory, especially when it comes to being able to balance the rest and the action. The literal ability, like we talked about from the eclipse candle, to unify those energies, to find that balance of the masculine within the feminine and the feminine within the masculine. And we have the Six of Wands, which is victory, and we have the Four of Swords, which is rest. Rest in reverse. Victory is coming up here to tell us that the victory comes when you surrender but then still move out into the future. Surrendering does not mean giving up. Surrendering does not mean that you just will let whatever happened by the universe's plan unfold. You are still a participant. So what habits do you want to continue? If some habits aren't working, then release them in order to create new ones. Take a tolerance break from them. Let yourself take distance so that you can gain clarity. For a new beginning. Okay, Pile 1, that's everything I have for you here. I hope this resonated for you. If you'd like to take this further in a personal one-on-one, I would love to do that with you, actually. This was a very cool reading, and I really loved your spirit guides and your energies, and I feel like there is some sort of story or some sort of invention that you're meant to bring about, maybe even a play or something like that. Mom, your cookbook? That just literally popped in, a cookbook, and then I was like, well, duh, that's funny because you picked this pile. I feel that that's something too where your guides would like to go further than you can do so in my video recorded reading or in a personal one-on-one with me on my W word. Okay, I'm going to put these to the side now and let everything simmer. Again, eclipse candle, dragon, bear spirit guide would be really good for you. Those would all be really powerful. So Pile 1, that is all I have for you. 8:15. We're gonna probably be here till like 8:45. I'm hoping that Jenny, if you do need to delay the reading, I will be live on Sunday and can do your reading then if you would prefer. I don't want to hold anybody to wait until the end. Okay, I'm sorry that it's gonna take a little longer because we're going through these piles and we can't rush them. So Pile 2 is what we're about to do. But I will be on live tonight until I do those, at least the people that are on my list this evening. So I will do that if you hang out. So we will do your readings, you and Lady Shay. And Lady Shay, same for you. If you want your reading on Sunday, then we can do that, okay? Let me catch up on the chat here for a second. You're doing your thing. You're so sweet. That was amazing. Thank you. Love you, Mom. Double I. Especially that cute baby. I love it. The little baby. Oh, the baby, right? On the 10 of Cups. It's adorable. Look how cute. Okay. I absolutely love it. Let's move on to Pile 2 now. So if you chose, there's 2 piles left, y'all. If you are just joining, I just finished Pile 1. This video recording is happening live, but it will happen. It'll upload automatically onto my YouTube. So you can, if you wanted to check out all of Pile 1's message, you can watch that with the intention of what you would need to hear. Pile 2 is the next pile that I am about to channel for, and those guides are the elements. So those are the 4 different elements: earth, air, water, and fire, which I've just finally completed all 4 and have them all together to be shipped in a 4-pack for y'all as well. So pile 2, your messages, you chose the elements. Pile 3, if you are wanting to choose pile 3, it is the Hummingbird Spirit Guide with the Sea Turtle Evil Eye. So that is pile 3, which we'll be doing next. Pile 2, let's get into your messages. Love you, Mom. Good night. Sleep well. Pile 2, you chose this tea packet as well, which it says, we all want to be understood, to be acknowledged, to be loved. And I think that's a really interesting intention here for this pile, especially when I reference it to the elements, because that's as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. So you're literally also giving that sort of surrender from what pile 1 was talking about, but in a way of like understanding that everybody just wants to be completely understood, loved, and felt. And so maybe you're really wonderful, pile 2, at holding space. This is very fitting because 2 is a union number. You end up having 1 and 1 makes 2, right? 1 is the loneliest number, is also coming up for some reason there, that song. And so it feels like with the star on the bottom of the deck as well, and I think I saw it earlier in upright. It feels like something having to do also with like you knowing how to love yourself, and then in turn being able to communicate that, being able to be more upfront and honest about the ways that you want and desire to be loved, and also to find ways to understand that that can come in a lot of different ways. Emotionally with water, passionately with fire, communication and through boundaries and communication, with air, or through action and actual 3D material aspects with the earth. Wow, that was good. I like that. I mean, that fits, right? That is like exactly what those elements are bringing through. And when you start to talk about those things in terms of like love and giving love and showing up for people, and there's a lot of different ways in which we apply those energies. And so for you, pile 2, you also chose Tiger's Eye, which is another very protective stone. I always, whenever I think of Tiger's Eye, I can't help but think of practical magic. She was like, I gotta get my Tiger's Eye, and it's a very protective. I mean, her going back and getting that Tiger's Eye was actually kind of like a very big bad moment. It's like what causes everything for him to be, I don't want to spoil the movie in case you haven't seen Practical Magic, but it caused a lot. But I mean, in a way, the Tiger's Eye was still doing its job, because she would have been sort of constantly looking over her shoulder if it wasn't for some of the things that she ended up having to happen. So let's see here, pile 2, what we need to decipher from you. Again, coming up with a message of being able to actually communicate what you need from your individuals, of not just love, but friends, family. Relationships aren't just like it says, all we want is to be understood, to be acknowledged, to be loved. We aren't just loved, we're from people that we're loved from acquaintances, from coworkers, you're loved from teachers and mentors, you're loved by me right now here. So there's a different form of energy when that comes to from everything. So let's see here what we have. The key was upside down. So we've got you got 2 cards here for your higher self here, pile 2. We've got happiness. Look at the light. I want to point out not every card has this lighting, but the last card also had this like sunlight facing on the front of the face. This is a profile as opposed to straight on, and you can see these stars in the hair and in the back of the body, and then the sunlight, and she's facing her face towards the happiness, looking towards the sun, looking towards the joy, like we're discussing in pile 1 as well. The joy has been something here for our collective that we need to focus on, because there's so little of it everywhere we look. There's so little of a way to see happiness from certain experiences. And so when we can find that within not only ourselves, but even the experiences of how we can be activism, how we can be hypervigilant, how we can be these energies for other individuals as well, to uplift and create joy and clarity, we also need to be able to do it through joy and clarity. Because if we can't bring that with us, how will we ever find it again? We cannot lose a part part of ourselves in order to gain something else, because that makes us a part of the problem. And so we have to come to a place where we can accept all of these things and create a form of clarity in what we're doing, especially in terms of communicating what happiness is to you, from a partnership, from a career, from a day-to-day life standpoint. This also feels like from how you treat yourself, like your body, your mind, overall your systems of your habits. It feels like you, Pile 2, have been working on seeing others when you meet them as a mirror to you more. And so Pile 2, it feels like you're recognizing the things that are happening aren't something that is a testament to you, but is an opportunity for you to either acknowledge it exists within you. And that means that there should be any judgments that are coming up, a little more compassion, because you're probably having those same judgments with yourself, and it's why you're probably putting it out to anybody else. And it also feels like balance. It also feels like the ability to hear those things and not give them the same power that you did before, Pile 2. Especially when we're talking about you kind of stepping into this magician energy and you being able to like line up with these elements. You're like witnessing the different layers to it and saying, okay, well, this is coming up in an emotional way. This is coming up in a physical way. And then actually creating a sense of harmony and happiness between those two frequencies. We are in a reality that is very dualistic, but it does not mean it is light and shadow only. There is gray, there's many colors in between. And so when we look at those hues, we find an understanding to each side of the extreme of that duality. And so then we find ourselves, like, it's very funny how I did pick up beforehand that if you may have been called to pick Pile 1 as well, and if you did, then find and discern what parts of those messages, because there is a connection here. And not in that they're the same messages, but that there is a group of y'all that have a bigger group of y'all that have lessons that are meant to be understood from both piles. And especially in terms of what I feel is a tapping in to what is needed in the moment, a presentness. There's something about presentness here for you that you have very much been focusing on. And so that you witness something and you're allowing that balance to happen then and not later. This is giving you not like something triggers you and you're like, wait a minute, that's actually triggering me. Can we talk through this for a moment? I love you so much and I don't want to carry this forward. You know, like that is such a powerful, not just like move for you, but for the conversation, for the growth of your community, the growth of the individual that you're dealing with this. And you can't control how they're going to react or if they're going to take the time to respond or hear you, because oftentimes that doesn't happen, but it knows in knowing that you are still advocating for yourself and what you need and your happiness and the ways that you need to either be communicated with, communicated to, and also the ways in which you are wanting to cultivate this going forward. Now, I also want to point out, not everybody can handle that. So be compassionate when you are being in that energy as well, because for you to flip that script, if you will, in such a drastic way, it's like very, jarring to anybody that is not used to that from you or not used to operating in those ways of like calling out energy in that moment. And their reaction is just as much valid as how you're feeling in that moment. We don't want to, just by you validating how you're feeling doesn't need to then invalidate anybody else's feelings and how they're perceiving things. And so balance is here to show us as well a sense of you figuring out how to do things when they're not necessarily, you don't see the happiness in it right away, but you feel called to follow through, or you feel called to go down that path, like intuition wise, or spiritually or career or whatever you're dedicated to something, then knowing that happiness is not always in that exact moment. It's going to come forward in a way that is going to happen through the entire rhythm of the entire routine, not just in the one experience. I like that message here, Paul, too. It feels like your higher self's biggest message for you is to really be focused on how you can feel balanced in every moment, even when you're kind of going a little teeter-tottery. Yes, we are doing Pile 2 right now. So this is a big part of that. In the present moment for you to be able to say, okay, wait, let me assess. And I like that I So I happened to glance up and catch that like moment of you putting it in chat. And it's actually really hard to read y'all's chat, but that came through so clear because of where it is on the, it's like really clear. And so I think that there's something too that is like, you asking questions is going to be answered in the moment that you need to be clarified. So clarity is happening for you, pal, too, more quickly than I think you feel. Because here, when I'm seeing the empath energy, I think that you might be feeling a little overwhelmed here. So with the water in reverse and then the predator energy in reverse, maybe you've been feeling a little bit like prey, and that the universe has been using you to kind of like make a example of, and the example doesn't necessarily feel like you're in on the joke, and this could just be like a subconscious layer you're working through, like again when the mirrors aren't mirroring correctly and you're like then taking it to heart for you, as opposed to the opportunity to show how far you've come, to grow with that individual or grow with this experience now, and not be triggered to some past or future kind of energy. In pile 2, it feels here with the wave in reverse. You get the wave here in reverse. And then you got, or water, I'm sorry, water in reverse, which interesting, in element energy actually came up for you considering this is the element pile. We got water. And then predator, which is really giving fire energy with the red. And I'm also getting throat and root chakra, so maybe you're struggling to speak up. Maybe this is something, pile 2, that you also are working on to be more clear when you are communicating why you're communicating. To not trigger predatory prey behavior, to not trigger a chaotic emotional upheaval. This is not what your goal is. It's to create balance, to create and cultivate happiness. And so even if you aren't doing so perfectly, there is an intention behind it that is through purity and of love. And that might mean that sometimes we have to check ourselves as well on what language we are allowing ourselves to use with ourselves and others, because I'm a big believer that sometimes people really get caught up on language, and language is like, I think, given too much power. We have to look at intention behind what people are saying, and also like context clues, and also understanding individuals on a deeper level, and giving people a little more grace than we give, because like we're operating from so many different systems that sometimes, like, not just in language but also, how often have you been caught on a bad day, or like you just are not in your perfect frequency, or you're a little clumsy that day, and are you normally a clumsy person? No, you just happen to be a little clumsy that day. Maybe you're dealing with a little bit of an equilibrium out of balance that day. That feels like with the water and the predator out of balance energy here. It feels like interesting too that the higher self has balance and happiness with water in reverse and predator in reverse. It feels like you're learning to not feed the emotions to anything that's triggering you, like I was already channeling, but especially in a way to go to like war. Like you are calling out the energy, but you're not letting it like send you into emotional turmoil. You're like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen, or okay, I'm going to call you out, or I'm ready to stand on this, but I'm not going to be taken to a place of discontentment. And it feels here that you're learning to also like show up with the emotions out of balance. Like that might have been challenging for you, pal, too. Letting people in on that vulnerability aspect of you. Like, I am sad now, I am triggered, I am angry, I'm frustrated, and why? And maybe why you're feeling that. And maybe why you're struggling to articulate it and feeling pressured to articulate it. And sometimes like we don't have an easy time of navigating when it comes to wanting to be loved, wanting to be seen. We don't always have an easy time navigating the ability to like show that it's really just wanting to be loved and seen, because we're doing so through triggers or through wounds. And so I feel here with you, pal, too, I really feel like there's something that you're not gonna let this like monster within you take over any longer. The movie Monster is actually coming up. I think it's called that something. It was a new movie that came out on Netflix, and it's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but a modernization of it. It's quite interesting in terms of like inner work as well. So that is coming up. I believe it's on Netflix. If somebody knows what I'm talking about, please put it in the chat. And so we have the ancestor cards that you got for you. Another thing coming up for you, you got two. Every time I pull cards for you, you got two. You are pile 2, and you got happiness and balance from the higher self cards. From the empath cards, you got 2 of them. From the ancestor cards, you got 2 of them. So again, with this like unity or mirroring energy, you even could be like meeting individuals that you feel are very important in your life right now, like soul family, soul mates, like those kinds of energies that could really resonate for you because of this interesting, because of this also, like I was gonna say like primal energy. And then I saw animal. I was thinking that it feels like it's almost like you can't ignore it because it's something that's happening on an instinctual level. Like you are just drawn to it, and you really have to follow through with it. This is because your DNA, it's something within your DNA. It's something that even could resonate, like if you resonate with coming in with past life energies or like past life contracts, then that could be something you're working on right now. And again, depending on what your personal practices, beliefs, and where you are in your journey, don't let yourself get taken into like a psychosis, okay, of what this all means for you. Let yourself have practical application of your day-to-day life. Live it, okay? Live it and embody it, and then also move through these things in ways of discovery and questioning. And I think that this is something with all of you here, Pal 2, that you're becoming more vulnerable again. You're not like, it's even giving like, when cats show their bellies, they are like literally completely comfortable to you, and they feel safe to not feel like you're going to attack them. That's the most vulnerable state that they can be in. They cannot react, so they're pushing through their instincts and letting themselves open up. So if there's something that has been triggering your instincts to close down, but your heart and your intuition is calling for you to open up to it, open up. Open up. Let this DNA strand be healed. Let this DNA be reprogrammed for your ancestors, for your spirits, for your spirit guides, for your spirit. And especially since we have the elements here, and it's all about Pisces season. We're all talking about this right now. This is in the depths of your subconscious. Like you are reprogramming something that is likely very, I'm being called to my shirt, like the mycelium is like rooted in the earth deep. It connects every tree across our whole planet. We have a network of mycelium, and this is something I think we all also have. It's like our brain network and our body. I think we're also doing it on an energetic level with each other. We're just trees that have been uprooted, but when we tap in spiritually or physically to the earth or even to each other, that happens like with sex, that happens with a hug, it happens with a haircut. You're gonna be intertwining and interweaving your energy with others. And even if your protections are top tier, even if you have yourself completely in alignment, those things are gonna have an impact on you because they're meant to. We can't just be in a bubble as we move through life. We have to have effects on each other. We have to be affected by each other and by experiences, good and bad. And to think that someone that loves you won't hurt you is also a flawed mindset, because we love people so dearly and we hurt them all the time. Matter of fact, it's more likely, I think, if you love someone and let someone love you, that they're going to hurt you because they can hurt you easier than anyone else. But just because they're hurting you does not mean it is wrong for you. I want to be careful here, asterisk, 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 but you know best. And if we're talking about physical or emotional or manipulation or abuse in any type of way, please get the help you need. Please try to get out of this situation. No one deserves to be abused mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. There's so many different ways that it can happen. So very much use your discernment and let yourself see what needs to happen in your life to get out of these situations that are not healthy. But I am a big believer that you can heal where you are. I don't like to believe that we have to leave everything in our lives behind in order to heal. I think that is a very powerful way of healing, to get yourself out of the environment. That's a very privileged way of healing. Not everybody can take what the beautiful Buddhist monks and all these beliefs where they take so much time to connect with God. They become a complete source of just channel that they can surrender to this non-detachment form of living that works and brings about a lot of like transformation, and it is one approach to life. But I believe a lot of us here on this path here, and especially here for you, Pal 2, you're learning how to live both. how to embody this version of you in the 3D reality and allow for these uncomfortable experiences to come up, which is this DNA, this adaptation of your DNA that is occurring, this ancestral, mastering your ancestral DNA. And this is this primal energy that is like, it's like been colliding with society. It's like what you have been reprogramming is what is being reprogrammed on a collective. So you have the narrative like down packed. So trust your instincts, adapt through this, and allow yourself to actually be the tools that that are needed to transform this energy. Now let's see what your key is, okay? The key to this overall lesson here for you, Pile 2, for Pisces season, Yonia. Everything in perfect balance. Look at that. Everything in perfect balance. Now, remember the card from Pile 1, if you were with me for Pile 1 or you watched Pile 1, we talked about that a bit as well. And it feels like, again, with you being able to trust your instincts beyond the insecurities. Trust your instincts beyond what your reality is trying to pinpoint you or pigeonhole you into. This is the embodiment of, everything is possible. The number is 8 as well. The embodiment of everything is possible, everything in perfect balance. I also think you're releasing the idea of perfectionism here, Pile 2. I think you're also moving through into a way of like letting yourself do things like just how you are and not like just needing to have every step lined out for you. Okay, everything is in perfect balance. The girl in Unoya is the embodiment of beautiful thinking. Her crown of thorns and leaves indicates that she understands through her journey of pleasure and pain that she is ultimately free. Everything is in perfect balance as her soul takes flight. The moon halo around her head signifies a healthy mind, emotionally balanced, rational in all its highs and lows. The death card of the traditional tarot deck is Yonoya's sister card. When this appears, it is a sign of current or impending endings and an ensuing inevitable rebirth. Mortal contemplation is spiritual practice that has the potential to heal, instruct, and connect us to the source of our being. Like contemplating your morality, like your as well as like not your morals, but your moralic life. Like what is life? What would be death? What is all of these things? What is the purpose of it? And even when you do that and realizing that there is no purpose in it and there is purpose in no purpose, then you kind of come around to the surrender again, because there's something about the beauty of making something out of nothing, and that's what we're doing here. We're making something out of nothing. We're making something out of this life that we're living. And so there's only the practice of contemplating our own death is healthy and essential in order to die meaningfully and mindfully. There is only one thing equally magnificent to our death, and that is our birth. Both are grand gateways to our source of all creation. Everything in life is good and bad, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Graciously allows things to pass and merge into the universal cauldron of creation for your rebirth. A ritual for a sacred death. Again, I'm going to show it on camera. I'm not sure that you'll be able to read it, but you can take a photo and mirror the image for this ritual. Okay. I really love this Pile 1. I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards, or Pile 2, I'm sorry, to solidify anything else here. Knight of Wands, the Well. You've been on a journey that has been very, very long coming. Bottom of the deck energy, yeah, very long coming. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Well. And we've got the Ten of Swords. It's taken everything in your power to contain the urge to step into your primal instincts in a way that would like combust everything around you, your life, your relationships, your career, everything. And you've been walking and teeter-tottering this age, this what? I don't even know what the fuck I just said. This age of Aquarius, this edge, for a while. And you've done so well of surrendering each time to when you needed to like let yourself like embody this frequency of like primal energy without judgment, and letting yourself hone in that primal energy with judgment to like use it. And I think you finally gotten to where you won't let it happen to your detriment or others' detriment. And I want you'll know best here. You're the Knight of Wands here, okay? Like you could quite often be pulled into this is the most like hot-headed knight, okay? This knight has a lot of passion. They believe in their cause. They believe in what they're doing. It is purpose driven. You're doing this for a reason. And when you bring in the Well, which is a unique card to this tarot system, it's takes it a couple steps further. You have the Artist and then the Well. The Well is literally the depths. It is like exactly it's like the Death card, but like the ending of all endings, the beginning of all beginnings, the creation of all creations, the creativity of all creativity. The ability to see it all unfolding and witnessing it all from every aspect while still standing in one particular point. Like this exists while you're here in the tarot, okay? If the tarot is a journey, right? If you're the Fool card in tarot and you're going through the entire journey, through the minors, all the majors, all the minors, and every part of it is like a non-linear but yet linear narrative. Like everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but also has a way of like, you know, interweaving into itself, much like the DNA strands that you got here in your reading, to this like journey like mastering your inner beast and your inner, like your masculine and your feminine, okay? The beauty and the beast, the belle and the beast, right? Literally mastering these energies in a way where you're not forcing them. It's harmony. And it comes through sacrifice in the ways of dedication, not in the ways of self-sacrifice. And this is pile 2, what you have let go of the most. You will not self-sacrifice any longer. You will not fight just to fight. You will not fight for the cause just to be like, you know, a good person. You know, this is giving like you realizing that I can be as good as possible. I can do everything right. But the story I have to heal is that is not the narrative that you'll still be able to fail, like life will still knock you down, and it's not the narrative of if I do everything right, then it'll work out for me in the end, because karma, like it's neither of those, and it's also both of those. So how you show up with it is really where you take your power back here, pile 2. So this is a cool reading. I am blown away by pile 1's reading and pile 2's reading. I mean, I hope you're taking these messages as intensely as I am, because they're like revelationary energies in reverence to Pisces energy. So we're literally in the intuition and the surrender. I mean, both messages have led with intuition and surrender, because that's the themes of Pisces season. But they have a unique application on how they're being used right now. And I'll tell you, you torchbearers, we are all doing things that are on a level that is alchemical, that is magical, that is elemental, that goes beyond. So we don't have to second guess it. We can let it exist in how it does by just embodying it. Okay, that's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope that resonated for you. I'm going to check out the chat here in the comment section to see, and then we're going to move on to pile 3. The final pile for Pisces season's Pick a Pile reading. I love it. Okay, spot on. My history. I love it. Okay, this is so cool. That was a call out. I'm sorry. I hope a good one. I appreciate I'm so glad. Welcome. I'm sorry you joined late, but I hope that whether you chose pile 2 to be your pile, this is going to upload automatically at the end of this. It'll probably be up sometime this weekend for y'all to watch. But we have one more pile left, so you were meant to find this when you did. And we're doing a Pisces season pick a pile reading. We've already made it through pile 1 and pile 2. I'm about to do pile 3, and after that, we'll talk a little bit and get into some other things. I do have 2 clients that are already on my reading list for today's personal readings. They are $22. I will be moving those over to TikTok afterwards, after we finish this up, to do those personal readings. If you want to get on my list, then you can donate $22 over on my Venmo, Cash App, or my PayPal. I do also have a sale going on my video recorded readings. So if you would like, it's a 33% off sale. I'm going to keep that active for until I get a couple of bookings. So I've got like 10 of them. So until 10 people book, then that sale will be active. Once I get my bookings back up, then that sale will come off so that I don't get as many bookings, right? So, and I already let everybody know it'll be a couple weeks before you get your video recorded reading because I will be out of town next week. Okay, pile 3, let's go. Let's see what you need to hear right now. For you, you chose the Hummingbird Spirit Guide. Let me take a sip of water. Take a deep breath in on your end. Pile 3, you chose the Hummingbird Spirit, which is all about inspiration and confidence. They get to the core of a situation. Really felt spring energy the moment I felt called to Hummingbird. I felt that pile 3 was the most spring of the 3 piles. So this is in reference a lot to, I feel, if you were going to look at it as kind of like a future reading a tiny bit, this feels like this is really in reference to what's happening to you after Pisces season and the start of Aries season, if you chose pile 3 here in particular. You also chose the evil eye, so you could be dealing with a little bit, you feel like a little bit of judgment. This doesn't happen also with people's intentions being always negative or evil. It often is just like having a lot of awareness on you. Evil eye is something that kind of also, I believe, it also accumulates. There are a lot of people that believe evil eye cannot be cast unless someone really purposefully does it. But I think that when we as a collective, especially with social media, we have created an evil eye energy that exists beyond just how we used to use it, because we weren't disconnected across the entire world like we are now. When you had more of this community energy, it kind of existed in this energy of like family and community space. And it's a specific kind of energy. It's like a chismosa. I don't know, like how to describe it. It's got a little bit of like trickstery energy then when it comes with it. And it's almost, I like to look at it as good and bad, not just bad. I don't think that this is because I like to use any energy that is sent my way to alchemize for my highest good. I don't send anything back. That's spirit. Spirit does that. My guides, my angels, your ancestors, they'll handle that. You don't need to handle any of those things. Let karma do that. Let Lady Karma, let what your higher self believes. If you believe in God, then let God handle those things for you. And I often, and probably someone that is trying to like mitigate those energies for other people, and I have learned to not do that either. If they're meant to receive something that's harsh, you cannot control that either. It is a tough part of life that what we put out, we get back. I really believe it. And that is not just what we put out in a day-to-day basis, it's what we put out in ourselves as well. And so what are you laying in when you're laying in bed at night and the lights are off and nobody's there with you, what are the thoughts that are ruminating in your head? And I'll tell you, the thoughts I had ruminating in my head 5, 6, 7 years ago are so like limiting compared to where I am now. You can change your subconscious, y'all. You really can. It's the best thing you could do for yourself, is to start to listen to the thoughts that you are just letting play on repeat. What voices? Who is here in your mind? And are you letting them be there? Is it your mother's voice, your father's voice, your mentor's voice? Is it my voice? Then let's decide when and where their voices are allowed to speak with us, because we need to have more clarity for when we're tuning in. This is with the protection, right? When we're tuning into our guides, we need to be able to have that clear line to that unconditional love. So we need to have good protection that isn't also through something else I see a lot of in protection practices is a lot of anger. We are channeling through rage, and there is very powerful energy. But you want to know what's even more powerful for protection? Love. You want to know what's going to get you aligned quicker to being protected? Is being able to come back to love in the midst of that anger. When you feel like you need to defend, then it's the same with the turtle, resilience and divine timing. The sea turtle has had some of the most traumatic experiences in life, especially as a young baby. But one of the things that I find very fascinating is that they have no passed on trauma. They don't have someone to raise them. They make their way, they are literally hatched in the sand, and then they have to make their way into the ocean through the waves while everything is trying to probably eat them. They're this tiny little thing that it's a very low odds, unfortunately, for sea turtle babies to make it. And when they do make it, they have to make it through the ocean waves. It's just so traumatic for them. I always send, whenever I think of sea turtle, I in particularly send a special loving energy to the young, the babies of the sea turtle, because out of babies that are having experiences, they're one of the hardest experiences in terms of what they have to go through. They're literally out for themselves from day one, and they don't even have their kin or anything. They don't travel in pods. They don't they have their shell. They carry their home with them, and I love that they have this sort of peaceful energy to them. They've learned to adapt. They take the currents once they get out deep into the ocean, and then they survive and get a little stronger. Then they come back to the shallows again, and they start to, those tides that once knocked them down and made it too difficult to be able to withstand, now become things that they utilized in order to eat and not use as much energy. They don't work as hard. They understand the storm will come, and they can weather the storm. If they can weather the storm, that they will be all the stronger for it. And so life here is kind of bringing this trail of love alongside from behind you. You're swimming, and everywhere you're going is dragging this beautiful trail of love behind you. And it feels like also Alicante, which is a place in Spain, could be in reference for you. Maybe you've been, you might have ancestry. I have ancestry in Spain, and so maybe you have ancestry. You've wanted to travel to Spain, or any of those things. So, okay, your greatest strength is love. Like I said, that's funny. I forgot this is what this said for you. Your greatest strength is love. And so you chose the hummingbird. Let's get into your reading here, pile 3, for you. I was already channeling here for you. We're going to, hold on, wait. There, okay, like this. We're going to get into, you got 3 cards for your higher self. So let's see what your higher self has here for you. Let go is the first one that we have here. Fear in reverse. Actually, all 3 of these are in reverse. And divine timing. How funny with the divine timing being here as well with the turtle. The sea turtle represents resilience and divine timing. So again, confirming here for you, pile 3, that everything, your greatest strength is love. Everything is happening for you, not to you. I know that is something even me, I still at this point am like, no. There's no way. It's happening to me, you fucker. And that's okay. Don't deny that. That is part of why healing is not linear. If you were able to hear why all these things kind of have you hear them all the time. They kind of become these tropes. Like consistency is key. All these things become sayings for a reason. And just because you hear them and you know them to be true, there's a reason that once you've gone through another spiritual awakening or another level, you'll hear it and see it in a different way, and you'll integrate it and understand it in another level. And so this is something, as you've learned to let go, and especially when it comes to your fears, and it comes to not letting your fears cause you to go into an anxiety area where you're then going to start operating from those fears. You're learning to have confidence and inspiration in spite of those fears. That is doing it anyways. You know how many people give up right before they're going to succeed? Don't be that person that gives up on your dreams right beforehand. Let yourself find the dream on the other side. Let the failures and the things that you're needing to let go of be what fuels and alchemizes the energy to help be what is leading to that divine timing moment. Not this big, I'm gonna break it, make it moment. This divine timing experience based off of what you're embodying now in the presence. Pile 3, I want something else that I want to say to you is that you're so hard on yourself during this process of letting go. You're taking this letting go and you're making it seem like you have to start over entirely from the beginning. But that is never happening in your life because you're not who you were before. You're not going to face anything again from the same point of view. So it's never happening like a merry-go-round. It is a spiral. It is not a cycle where you are not experiencing new new points of view alongside of it. I want to also say that you have control here. You are a participant. You are not just at the, the tides that are taking you. You are choosing to say, I am no longer going to listen to things that make me feel like I can't do anything. Divine timing is at play, but it doesn't mean you can't live. Don't look at things that are happening to you as being stops or breaks. Look at them as side quests along the main quest that you're on. If you're in a video game, when you get a new side quest, you don't think, shit, I've got this main quest I'm gonna do and you want me to do that? You think, ooh, that sounds kind of fun. Or you say, oh, I'll do it later. That's what's so great about it. You actually can decide to do it later. Maybe that person will have found somebody else to do their job. Maybe that quest won't be there later. But you can choose where you're putting your frequency and your focus. And so don't let yourself be slowed down or stopped. Instead, let yourself be enamored with what the adventure is bringing out in you right now. And allow yourself to transform through that love, right? Surrendering that, the biggest thing you have, the greatest thing that you can do is to dig deep into the situation. Like I discussed with the hummingbird, the nose, right? They get to the core of a flower. Unlike the bee and the butterfly and all that, they're getting a lot of pollen and they're getting a lot of things from the flower. The hummingbird is not going to leave anything behind. And another thing is that their nose acts as a sword, acts as a form of protection for them. They are also quite aggressive little birds for how beautiful they are. They're very aggressive and territorial with the people around them. So it's bringing up a message to be careful to not become this little energy where you're sort of they're so fast moving too, you're flitting about. And so take the time, the slowdown that is needed to transform through this cycle. I think pile 3, the biggest lesson for you is to know that the slowdown does not mean that you're being stopped or a denial. It means that you are needing to take the time to completely release this thing before you take another step so that you don't have to do more work later on. Your time taken now actually frees up your mind and your heart for bigger workings later. This is giving bear energy, much like I channeled for pile 2. Bear spirit guide, or pile 1, I don't remember now. Pile 2, bear spirit is coming through with that temperance energy. It is the balance of your masculine and feminine, which is something I preach and I talk about with every reading I ever do, because it is the biggest thing we need to do, is to actually allow ourselves to figure out what is your masculine and feminine energy, what is it showing up as, how do you hear it, how do you show up with it in life, and how do you then create space to actually utilize that energy, as opposed to having a part of you that you're just ignoring. Imagine that you knew you could read but never wanted to learn, right? You can do it, why not try? Why not put yourself through the experience of seeing how you get to it, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Exactly. This is not I also want to point out that this is not that because something happens slowly for you that then other things have to happen slowly. Don't teach yourself a pattern that you don't need to learn. You're actually we're realizing that we're trying to constantly unlearn patterns. So let's not teach ourselves new patterns. Let's let ourselves find out the pattern is unlearning the patterns. And if we can constantly unlearn the patterns and find what works for us now, we won't be caught up in new patterns in the future. Now, moving on to your card here, that is the energy of the empath oracle. You've got air. Pile 3, it feels like this is your thoughts. This is the element of air, which has to do with our boundaries, our thoughts, the ruminations. It also has to do with I don't chase, I attract. I get a lot of that affirmation based, vocal, very much like the energy of you also that flightiness that I was talking about with the hummingbird, being a little bit I should go here. Oh, no, wait, this is the right choice. No, 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 this is the right choice. And thinking that there is something to do that is right or wrong. And I think that that will be helpful for you, Pile 3, to let go of. That's part of that resilience and the divine timing, that there will like always be like another like level to this. And I think that in this lesson of where you are for whatever this applies to, whether it be your personal life, your career, any of those aspects in your life, it feels like you're learning to like not operate from a fear-based mentality, not let your mind get away from you, not let those voices of other individuals, those ruminations of others, like teach you things that you're not meant to be taught, or to put you in a pattern that you've already broken out of. This is something too where every time you think that you've like let go of it, you might be shown again that you didn't. And it's okay that you're seeing it again. The fact that you're seeing it or you're aware of it is like 85% of the work. It's just like the ability to say that something is accountability. It's vulnerability to be able to say like, I have a problem with this, or this is not working for me. How do I actually assess that? Throat chakra. And it feels like too, it has to do with you, Pile 3, in terms of you communicating more clearly with these things, not getting wrapped up in the weeds, like the reeds is interesting. They're coming through with a lot of like, you know, showing me a lot of movement through you. Like I'm even getting the Legend of Korra, where she was learning the air element, and she had to move through the reeds to get the leaf and be the leaf, that the leaf was moving through with the wind, you know, perfectly. And she was trying to, like how she normally goes at it, very intensely, trying at every single approach. And the air element was quite challenging for her because it goes against her natural kind of personality. And so this is coming up as like maybe the reason why the slowdown is happening is because it's just not your natural state. So when you master it, it's going to be that much more powerful because it's actually in resistance to your natural state. And so when you find the balance in that, then you have learned how to not just do things from what comes naturally to you, but to also do things that are hard for you to create a new natural. Woo! That was great. I love that message. That was really great. I hope that resonates for you. Oh, look. Yeah, because the hero. I mean, I'm bringing up Korra, who is literally the avatar. She's the hero's journey that we're following for that current avatar state and incarnation. That looks like Nicolas Cage. Doesn't it look like Nicolas Cage? I've got a little shaking going on. You could be dealing with, it feels associated with Pile 3. You could be dealing with like a little bit of like the energy from today too, because the Schumann has been crazy. I feel pretty normal, but I can feel like a jitteriness, like coffee. And I haven't had any coffee sitting here. It's definitely coming up from Pile 3. Maybe my blood sugar's down. I don't know. So the hero journey. We're talking about the hero's journey here, and I want you to have the courage, it says, to know that you are on your own path of that journey. That you aren't meant to do it by becoming this with great power comes great responsibility. Right, like becoming this like thing that you are like making yourself out to be that is bigger than you need to. Wow, mentor is here as well. So it feels like you are you're on a path, Pile 3, that maybe has a lot to do with like showing others as opposed to teaching them, and you're trying to find how to do that, right? You're embodying it. That's what the hero does. The hero like shows is how they teach. You know, you even think of the sidekick, like it's through embodiment, it's through practical applications, it's often through training as well. There's something about the hero's application that it's like not just coming through, it's through the gaining of skills and being also open to gain skills and grow in those skills. That feels very prevalent for you here, Pile 3. It feels like you're learning how to even put it into a course. It could be the kind of energy. Like you're able to take these new boundaries, these new mindsets, this new way of getting to the core of something with the Hummingbird and like teach it to someone. Inspiration, confidence to motivate. You may want to be a motivational teacher or motivational or inspirational. Like I'm also getting a lot of activism for you, Pile 3. Like I feel like there's something that you're doing that is for the betterment of our planet. And I feel like you're trying to overcome the fears of like this like big mission that you feel like you're meant to do, and like not do it in some way where you're like, I'm the hero and like, let's go, we're gonna overcome this, and instead doing so in a way of like, we're doing this because, you know, it's our purpose and it's our drive, and not something where we feel like we need to do it or have to do it. It's something we're choosing as well. That's something else about the hero's journey. It's a choice. Like, you know, they choose to take their path and pursue it that way. Epiphany, that's your card here, the key. Reveal your gifts. Epiphany. Reveal your gifts. Let's read it from the deck. Number 6. All right. 9:06. Okay, we're doing good on time, which is good. I'm about done with this reading here, and we'll be moving on and going over to TikTok pretty soon. So we are going to finish up pile 3 here. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to pull some tarot cards. I really feel here with pile 3, there's another sign here as well for you to, like, if there's any notes or journals or things like that you've been like cataloging, there's something about you going back through those right now, an epiphany moment, like having like a revealing of your gifts, like paying attention, like getting in, like the hummingbird, like I said, they get to the core of the flower. So like if there's something that you've been like trying at and it's not been quite succeeding, there's something about like every time you come back to it, you're pollinating it on another level. You're pollinating it just that much more. And so let's see here for epiphany. The girl of epiphany is caught enjoying the sweet scent of her own success. I mean, these cards have been so radical. Like, it's been like blowing my mind. But now is a time to share. Now it is time to share this success with the world. Have you been keeping something from others? Something that would surprise and delight them? The world wants what you have to share. The world wants what you have to share. Awaken to your hidden talent. You are more than enough. There are hidden gifts, a new skill, a new passion bubbling up, ready to pour out of you at this time, just as the gold pours out of the girl of Epiphany's arm. See it there? What is a deep goal? Something you may have considered impossible. Wow, this is perfect. It is your duty to unveil and release this potential inside of you. The time to act is now. The universe will conspire in your favor if you take action now. The ritual is the power of yes. For 3 days, say yes to every request and opportunity. Be guided only by yes, and where this willingness takes you. Witness the special skills and talents unleashed in you, knowing that anything is possible when you allow it to be. That was beautiful. I really love this. There's say yes, say yes. I want you to say yes, like it's like improv. That's exactly what that comes through as. Like when we were taught to do improv in theater, we were taught to just say yes all the time. Because then whatever the story that will unfold will then have more to go from. If you say no, then you know someone says, "I was your aunt," and you're like, "No." Then, okay, what can we do from there? But if someone says, "I was your aunt when we were right," and you're like, "You're right. You were my aunt. How did we forget that? That's so weird that you're my aunt my whole life, and I've just now remembered that we knew that. Yeah, that is weird, but I am your aunt, and now we've come to this reunion now together, and we're gonna cultivate a new relationship. That's wonderful." You know, then you continue. And this is the 9 of Cups. That's what happens when you say yes. Something of abundance comes through. Something of joy comes through. You start to plan with others more. You start to be open to new ways of thinking. This was in reverse. And so it's like opening yourself up to let others' ideas change your approach, and not looking at it as like better or worse. Just because you're changing the plan or you're doing something different, it existed. I want to also get out of this mindset of a community that we think that success leads up to one moment or one big thing, or that success is if it is like others are witnessing it. You identify what success is. I just reposted something about this today on TikTok. You are the one that identifies what success means to you. And it does not mean that it has to be what others are perceiving and validating for you. Every candle, every guide has been a success. Have other guides that I've done has been a success, but have other guides sold more successfully than others? Yes. Have some guides, if I had stopped making guides when I had failures of guides that did not do well or have not done well, then I wouldn't have done the zodiac candles. I would have stopped doing the zodiac candles because they weren't producing well. They still aren't my most produced guides. They aren't my most popular, and I'm putting a lot of energy into doing one of these every month. But it's and even these readings are part of that, right? It's like showing it to me. It's teaching me and teaching all of us that we don't need our success to come from what is outside of us. It is in what we are doing and why we're doing it, and in how we're doing it, and in the rhythms of how we're changing how we're doing it and letting others participate in it, that we are actually changing the DNA of it and making it so that we can celebrate. And it was 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Pentacles together, which is all about dedication, rededicating, hard work. 5 is the number of change. 5 of Pentacles is often not feeling like you don't have the resources. But when we look at this card here, they have love. There is a companionship together, even though it only is in this suffering that we have each other. That is something that I think is being healed here for pile 3, is that as you say yes, you are not going to be sent to energies that are going to take advantage of it. These yeses are guided to you from the universe. These yeses are ways to make you move towards better waters, make you feel like you can get out of any of these limitations of your life, your reality, your whatever construct you've been operating from, that you can reprogram it and find a new way of living. That's all I have for you, pile 3. And that is all I have for you, torch bearers, in terms of the Pisces Spirit Guide Pick a Pile reading. How cool to get to do this live with y'all. I actually really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't enjoy was that I couldn't read your comments. So I am going to read them now. Let me clear this energy here for a second. And I'm going to read them now before I leave. But I really feel like this was a really fun way to connect with you guys in the moment and have your energies a part of each pile, but also for the torchbearers that I hope, we'll see how it performs, because a live video does show up differently on the algorithm of YouTube and such. And I'm not like, I'm not going to change my behavior based off of how it performs. But I was honestly not going to get to do the Pisces Spirit Guide reading this month. I had planned, I'm going out of town next week, and I've been planning to record it, and I was like, well, the last couple didn't perform all that well, so maybe I just won't do it. And instead I said, no, tonight I'm gonna be live on YouTube, and I'm trying to get everybody to join these community Thursdays at 7 o'clock every week. Together we hang out. And instead I did this as a way for us all, you get to see kind of what I would have been recording behind the scenes. And I think that was a really great way to adapt and allow us to utilize the energy in a new way and still get what we need to hear in a pick-a-pile reading for Pisces season. So super fun, and I appreciate for you like hanging out with me during it, because I know I was yapping a shit ton. And now I'm gonna do that when we all hang out. Right, wait. Okay, I'll show you steady wins the race is the lyrics to the song I wrote. Wait, I love it. Okay, hold on, wait. So good. I'm gonna have to watch the video again. Oh, I love it. See, I love that. That is an option too, because with the TikTok ones, I have to download them, and then when I upload them to YouTube, they often will silence them because I had music playing. But I've been listening to royalty-free music whenever I'm live on YouTube, and maybe I'll just start doing that more on TikTok so that I can use those lives. Wow, amazing reading. Thank you, Bridget. Yay! I really, really did think those were all 3 piles felt like a collective like through line, but in different areas of focus. And so I actually love that, and I think that's very cool. As a closing for us all, I'll pull 1 card from the Earthbone Oracle as a collective message here for anybody that is here. And then if you want I am going to take a 15-minute break, y'all, get myself a little snack, and I'm going to then pop back onto TikTok, and I will be doing $22 donation-based readings. I've already got 2 people on the list that I'm going to do first if they want me to. If they want to wait until Sunday, they can. I'm going to be getting back onto TikTok to do that. And we'll hang out for maybe another hour or so doing paid readings. I'll pick candles. I've got some sales, the 33% off on my video recording readings. I've got sales on my TikTok shop. I've got sales on my W word, all those good things. So definitely felt collective. It did. It really did. So I hope that aspect will translate for people in the future when they read, when maybe that's because we did it live. It felt like an hour-long collective. Like, so you got stuff from all of them. Right, I got stuff from all of them too. I really did. I think pile 1 was the pile I would have probably picked. I didn't pick beforehand, so it's hard to choose. But from what it resonated with me. But, okay, what's our collective message here? This deck is so beautiful, the blue edging. All right, what is our message here? It's got the skulls, which I did a skull right here. There's the skull. All right. These are temporary, fake tattoos, except for this one. That one's real. But okay, what is our collective card? The final card here for the YouTube reading. 1 card, please, Spirit. 1 card, please. Just 1 card. Oh, you guys want to tap? Okay. Put your intention in. Put your intention in. All right. 1 card, please. 1 card, please, Spirit. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Did someone not get a tap? Did someone not get to tap? Put your intentions in. Put your intentions in. 1 card, please, Spirit. Just 1 last card. Collective card. I'm going to read it from the deck. This is going to button up and close out the entire, if you got something from all 3 piles, there it is. That's what I needed to say. If you got something from all 3 piles, this is your card. It is a collective message in reference to the Pisces season, the pick a pile reading, and closing out everything that happened through all 3 piles, whatever little through lines are meant to come through to bring through a collective message for you. And we got the pack. Look at that, like we're a wolf pack, the pack. Inner work, deep connections, and soul tribe, like we all are for each other, the soul family, and the wolf pack energy. And look, the jitteriness, completely gone. Okay, I'm mostly gone, but literally, actually, I don't feel it at all. I told you it was a part of pile 3. I thought it was hunger, but it wasn't. I am still gonna get a snack because I had a little snack earlier, but I mean, I've been live for 3 hours almost because I got started at 7. 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 18 minutes, what the hell, at 9, 2 hours and 18 minutes, but okay, the pack, inner work, deep connections, and soul tribe. Also, I'm being brought, like I always talk about with the pack energy, that wolf pack, every member of the wolf pack has an equal role. There's value in that role. No member is high. It's not a hierarchy. That's something else we got to realize in our whole life. We got to get out of this hierarchy mentality that I know better than you, you know better than me, you're better than I am. If you have a skill that's more informed than I am, then you're better at it. Like, there is not this like sense of that. There is sense of hierarchy in terms of how much you attain in wisdom and knowledge and ability to utilize your tools, but that does not mean it applies or supersedes other areas around you, because then that does not serve the collective. It does not serve our whole of being able to grow and change, and also being able to recognize that there can be multiple truths that can be occurring at once, and there also can be multiple realities occurring at once, and that we can, come together to figure out what is the reason behind needing to discuss the energy within that soul tribe, within that energy of what is coming up in our life. And I'm speaking a little vague there because of the fact that it's a collective, and I don't want to place it into one point of view, but I'm meaning in the ways that you are, how you treat energies around you is also going to show through how you treat frequency within you. So when that energy shows back up, you're not going to be if you're not very compassionate with other individuals, not being informed or not having the knowledge that you have, then you might look at things in life and always look through this lens of how in an intellectual lens, and so much can be learned from things that aren't just through the logical point of view. So Let's see here what it has for us. Number 38, the Pack. And this is the Earth and Bone Oracle by Siren Shadow. Okay, so the Pack, inner work, deep connections, soul tribe. Have you found those people who hold space for you? Hi. Those people who allow you as much time as you need to talk if you need it. Y'all do that, yeah. Or to be unabashedly yourself and act as you wish. These individuals do exist, and they can be found. Seeking the help that you require is entirely your choice. There are forms of healing found in counseling and talking circles. Some people are fortunate enough to receive support from friends and family, as well as from pets, animals, and plants. It is essential to be able to talk and express your truth to those who are simply listening and accepting you into their hearts. Your story may not be for everyone to hear, but you can find the support that will aid you, and so you may align with your highest self. You can communicate with Mother Earth, and if you like, unload your burdens on her. She is compassionate, nurturing, and helpful in transferring whatever energy you don't want to hear or bear. Examine what you want to leave behind, like a snake losing its skin or a butterfly emerging from a cocoon, and let the earth transform it. Allow yourself to gather and release this energy by sitting in prayer or meditation in nature. It's vital to remember that before you can be of service to others or assist them, you must first heal yourself, and everyone's road is different. This commonality in healing work is formed through making space for others to tell their truth. You might be receiving a call to be a healer if you've noticed this need in someone else. The act of healing begins with the skill of being able to listen. Practice listening without pretenses, preconceived notions, or judgment. Practice being open to fully listening with all of your senses. Allow someone as much time as they require to provide a safe space for them to express themselves. The affirmation here: I acknowledge that the way through transformation is love. My body, mind, and spirit are in complete balance. That was beautiful. And it literally said everything we channeled through the through line of the reading, the through line of the collective pick a pile, the through line of our gatherings every time we gather, y'all. I love this space. I love you all so fucking much. I really cannot speak to how much I love you because I don't understand it. It's incomprehensible to me. Our pack is so large. It goes so big. It goes so broad. It's such a nuanced, beautiful energy. It really is a torchbearer thing. It's a torchbearer thing. But it doesn't mean if you're not a torchbearer that you can't party with us. You just have to give us the time, the space, and the energy to listen. And we'll do the same for you. I promise you that. We will do the same for you. But you have to give us the time, the space, and the energy to literally move through all of it. All of it. All of it. Not just one part. Not just a little piece and it needing to be this nugget that is beautiful and concise and oftentimes very delicate. Mwah. But when you look at all of it, you get the entire experience. Beautiful. Okay, y'all, that is all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this live. I am going to take a 15-minute break and head over to TikTok. Lady Shay and Jenny, please let me know now if you would like to have your readings this evening. I am going to head over to TikTok in about 15 minutes, and I'm going to do $22 paid donation-based readings. And so you can do that to my Venmo, my Cash App, or my PayPal. And those will be happening this evening or on Sunday. If you'd like me to do it on Sunday, those are my next two lives, tonight and Sunday, that I can do the reading for you. Sunday, the Reiki session will happen first, so the reading will happen at around 9 o'clock on Sunday. And so if you'd like to book with me, though, all of my video recorded readings are 33% off right now. And then my Reiki sessions are still 55% off. Any of those sessions will happen after the 10th of March. And that'll be the earliest that I can start recording any of those readings. So make sure that you know that at least with that, you have a little bit of time before you're going to be getting any information on that. So if you want in the moment reading, that'll be happening tonight for $22 on my Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. And I'm going to hang out for probably another hour. So that's why I'm going to take 15 and not 5. I'm going to take 15 minutes to get myself resettled and reset into a good space to do personal readings for y'all. And it'll be fun. We'll hang out. I'll pick candles for y'all. I don't have D&D this evening. I skipped my Tuesday live this week because I was so busy on spirit guide candle stuff. I'm really working hard on the new rose fragrance guide. It's rose, pear, and passion fruit. Smells absolutely amazing, and the guide is very, very close. I'm hoping to have it finished before I go out of town, so I can get it out for all of you, because I've got pre-orders for y'all, and I don't want y'all to have to wait another week while I'm finishing everything. But I can't rush any guides, y'all know that, so I appreciate any of you torchbearers. What I love about the torchbearers I have is y'all let me operate in the ways that service my mental health, service my highest good for like what these guides want to do, and I think really set us on a precedence of like letting magic be a part of our life. So if you're like in this torchbearer vibe, I'm really hoping, oh guys, I want to tell you something too. Okay, hold on. Pause. I'm really hoping to continue that kind of like everything like flows through, whether you're hanging out with me to play video games and it's a community vibe on Tuesdays or at 7 p.m. on Twitch, or you're hanging out with me on TikTok on Thursdays at 7 p.m. here on YouTube on Thursdays, or at 8 p.m. on TikTok, 9 p.m. tonight. Really, it's going to be like sporadic on times. You just need to check the Discord, and also my TikTok and my Twitch and my Instagram and my YouTube. You just need to be in on all of the places that Spirit God Apothecary is hanging out. One day I'll have you where I can stream simultaneously on all of them for y'all, and it'll make it even easier. But so that no matter what, you can catch me. But something else I want to tell y'all that I'm very excited about. It might not happen anytime soon, but because I like these are one of the things I want Thursdays on YouTube to become, is the behind the scenes. You get in on the know. So you get to find out little things that are happening, and this might mean you might even catch it when you're watching my content long format. If you just spent an hour, like 2 hours with me, if you just spent 2 hours with me here watching a video, then I want there to be a reason behind that. Like you get little pieces of information that are happening down the pipeline. Like a couple Thursdays ago, we did a vote for favorite fragrances. A couple weeks prior to that, we did a vote for favorite fragrances weeks and weeks and weeks before that. And then a couple weeks ago, we did voting for the new fragrance. And Jenny, who is an absolutely amazing torchbearer, donated and got y'all a fragrance that is coming. I'm not revealing it, but there are 4 fragrances she chose for her favorite option. And she said she let me choose. And it's going to be a fragrance that is coming very soon to Spirit God Apothecary's newest candle. It's not going to be the spring fragrances. It's probably going to be the summer fragrances, like I was letting y'all know, because there's some testing I have to do and such and get it in-house and all of that. But I was ordering oils, and I let y'all know all the new oils that are possibilities that I want to order from. And all of my oils are natural essential oil derived fragrances. So, but something I'm thinking of doing and introducing, and y'all can let me know if this would be super exciting for all of you. And I've been ruminating on this idea of I want ways of like every time I can add more magic to my products, anytime I can add more little nuance, like y'all have a ritual that comes with every candle. It's the same ritual, but it comes with the candle for you to connect with each candle more intently. Then you have the key phrases on the front of the candle. You have the paragraphs on the side that you can work with. There's so many things, like there's symbolism that you can pull from when I do the artwork and the channelings. So I always try to layer things, right? And so just to add more layers into everything I'm doing in my shop, and like everything you're buying from me, I also like, I like to give back to the torchbearers that are continuously all over these 5 years have been buying from me. Y'all are what are keeping my small business in operations. Literally, like without you torchbearers that are constantly working with my candles, my bookings, like I would not be able to do this. And I have had ups where I've had a lot of outreach, and I've had downs where I've had not much outreach. And it doesn't equate to necessarily better or worse sales. Sometimes it does. But what does equate to better or worse sales is my community. And I love that, is that having this amazing space has led to me being able to have a consistency in my life that I wasn't expecting. And because this type of business is very much like how I really kind of was resistant to it, because it's so capitalistic and it's so much like sale, sale, sale. I was in the service industry, and I didn't want to live in anything where I was kind of having to make my living off of trying to make you buy something. And I never did when I was in the service industry. I always was operating out of like experience, like cultivating an experience for you. And that is what I've taken from that into my business here, because I care about life, living life. It should be an experience. Like, I don't know, like whether we're sitting out watching the sunset or like having dinner or like watching a TV show, like it can be an experience. It doesn't have to just be mundane. Everything can be something. It doesn't have to be like making it out to be the biggest moment ever. It's actually just in witnessing that it's in the simplicity of it that it's an experience, not making it something more. And so this is the way that I'm cultivating my business across my spiritual mindset, right? And I put it in quotations because we're introducing that into the business world as well. And so when I look at how to implement more financial stability for me, I'm trying to find ways, like the deep dive boxes was a really wonderful way for me to have a consistent income and really give you guys amazing, awesome tools and all these things. But it was just so much work. So I was trying to find new ways to do those things. A guidebook that's coming out for y'all, the Spirit Guide Clips, that's probably my favorite tool I'll ever make for y'all so far, or that I've ever made so far, and it's not even finished. And it's taken me literally a year in the making to finally get this product to fruition, because it is a book, a novel, and a charm set. And those items will also spread out and become separate items as well. So you're gonna have like 3 new items all at once that are really big items. A novel, a fantasy novel that is like journaling or traveling through 16 different spirit guides that we've worked with. A charm set that also works with those different spirit guides, with rituals and deep dive information about those guides, ways to connect with those guides in an in-depth way. And then a guidebook that takes you through those different ways on how to do it, with journal prompts and quizzes for you to take on what powers you would unlock in the fantasy book, and all these different things. A spirit guide Spotify playlist that you can listen to during the book, and all of that. So all these different things connect, right? Like if you buy the bath salt, it's the otter bath salt. Everything connects to each other. And so I thought every time you're buying from me, I want there to be like a little extra magical, like I always give you guys a goodie. I always like to give you goodies, if I can include them. And sometimes I can do more than others because I just don't have the goodies made because I'm the only one putting all those goodies together, whether they're actual stickers that I'm cutting and getting, doing them all, everything's done in-house. And so with this idea that I'm thinking of doing, it would be a way that I don't know if it's going to be with every order or every candle or every item. There will be like a QR code that you will have, that it's like a mystery item. Imagine it's like a mystery item that you would get. And it's either going to be a discount code, a session with me. It could be a 5-minute session. It could be a 15-minute video recorded reading that I upload on TikTok. It could be a 15-minute, Zoom call where you are, a spiritual guidance session. It could be a 30-minute spiritual guidance session. It could be an hour. I mean, it could be a free item, a free candle on your next order, so that next time you order, you get a free candle, and you'll have a code that you'll include on your next order, so that I know that you got that QR code, and that you got those things to be able to get that, right? And it could be a bunch of things. It could be anything. I even want it to be like points for, like, I got to find a way that I could do that. Maybe you got 100 points, which would basically be like almost adds up to a free candle on my W word. So like when you accrue points on my W word, you can get all these services that you can use to save money there. And so I thought that would be a fun way to bridge a lot of the discount stuff I'm doing, and not just make it where I'm doing discounts that are live and happening. Like right now I have a sale going on, but also that adds to the excitement of, like, you don't know when you're ordering a candle, you might, if you order 4 candles, you're going to get 4 choices. And I thought, I'm going to let y'all know, like, okay, I'm making inventory. I've got 100, I just made 100 candles. I've got 300 candles in inventory, let's say, right? Let's just say I have 300 candles in inventory right now. And that means that there is 20 1-hour sessions with me. That wouldn't be that many. 10 1-hour sessions with me within those 300 candles. Or, you know, that still sounds like a lot. But you see what I'm saying, right? You guys would know that there are 10 of them. And then as torchbearers are winning the QR codes and getting them, then y'all let y'all know that there's 7 left, or there's 5 left, or there's 3 left, you know, and then you guys could know what you know, out of that inventory, oh, we've gotten down to 100 inventory. Now I'll have inventory that will get added again, and we'll have that kind of system happening. You see what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes, you know, one thing about Spirit Guide Apothecary is we are not simple. We are a maximalist thing all the way. We want to live, breathe, embody Spirit Guide Apothecary. We want to embody spirituality and joy and fun and games all across all of it. So yeah, I don't know. I was rolling those ideas around, and I thought it would be really fun to like keep the aspect of like, even like, you know, oh, this person got this person won this, you know, like you get to discover it every time you get a new candle or a new, and I think I'm gonna do it with just candles, as opposed to like everything that you book, because it could get harder. So I thought of the candles are like my main thing that I really make and sell to y'all. So in terms of a physical item. And so I thought you get a candle and you open up the candle, and on the lid, when you reveal your lid, you'll open up your lid. On the bottom of the lid, there'll be a QR code, and it'll tell you what you won. You'll scan the QR code, take you to everything that you know that is going on for what you got. And it could be a discount code. It could be a ton of things. I even thought of them being like, you know, rituals or certain things like that could be unique for that month. Maybe there'll be certain rituals that are floating about. Something that I've created that's specifically for a guide or specifically for a certain thing, and it has to do in it. You know, maybe there's 10 of them that are going out, and if you got them, then those 10 people were really meant to do that ritual. I think it's a really fun way to add divination too, like another layer of like divination and things like that to the items that you're working with. So, you know, sometimes you might win more than others, right? Like, I don't want to make it seem like you're going to win free readings all the time. Like, I couldn't keep up with that. So it has to be like lighthearted, small things that I can do that are fun, that would allow you to sometimes get like something bigger, sometimes have an opportunity, let it be spirit led, right? Like, spirit will decide when you're going to get that, because it's fate. And yeah, I thought that'd be cute. So we'll see when I introduce it, if I introduce it. Y'all are my main group of torchbearers that come through, and I like to tell you those ideas and see how, if they inspire a lot of excitement within y'all. If it's something that you guys are like, that sounds super cool, then it might make it to where I work on it more quickly than others, because I constantly have ideas ruminating for things that are happening in Spirit Guide Apothecary and such, and sometimes those things happen quicker than others. And this is one that I've been thinking about for a while, and today it kind of came through in a way where I was like, I really should do this. And so I'm deciding to tell y'all about it to see what you think. So let me know what you think, and then we'll decide if it's something we'll introduce or not. Maybe I'll start doing it like it won't be for every candle. Maybe it's just an opportunity to that can happen. Like, you open it, nothing's there. It's just a quote or something sweet, and then it's just a QR code sometimes, and you would win a reading. And that would be a way for me to simplify and keep it super simple. You have a chance of winning a free 15-20 minute reading with me, and I actually think I would love to do it video recorded, so that it could be like public, and then it's a private reading, but it's uploaded publicly like I do my other TikTok readings for y'all. And that way, anybody that would resonate from it or needs to hear it, or also would just like to book with me, it would help me get more bookings with clients and such. And yeah, so I think it'd be a cool way that we can introduce some new freebies. Instead of just a freebie coming that I include, like, a car diffuser or a soap. Instead, you get a freebie where it's like included in the candle. Okay, I'm gonna go for a moment, 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna be on live. I'm gonna aim for 15. Be gracious with me, okay? Because I'm gonna get a little snack, but I'm gonna aim for 15 minutes. I'm definitely gonna be live though. 15 minutes, I'll be live, and I'm gonna go on TikTok, and we will do the paid readings, $22 donation-based readings, and hang out for a bit. Jenny's saying she wants hers tonight. Let's howl too. Thank you, Hidden Mana. I didn't see that earlier. The howl is important. We're gonna howl at the end for sure. So let's see. Right. Okay, y'all. I love you so, so much. I am very thankful for this space and for these weekly lives. They're so fun together. And I'm going to go and get myself a snack. And this pick a pile option was super cool. So I'm going to process that for a moment, get into my grounded space, and then I'll come back into a more channeled mode for all of you. So I'll see you soon. I love you. Subscribe, like, do all the things. See you soon.